What's up, podcast land? It's nice and rainy today in New Jersey. I don't know where I was going with that. Episode 131 of the podcast is brought to you by our boys in Silence in Solitude. Like every episode, because Silence in Solitude is awesome. They are based out of southern New Jersey. And Silence in Solitude is a metalcore quintet that consists of Shane Roxas, Colby Hempel, Cody Mitchell, Alexander Coates, and Justin Pomper. The band formed in early 2015 and made their debut in September of the following year, 2016, having spent the previous year writing and recording. So what did they write? What did they record? Well, they recorded their debut album, Resurgence. It came out in December of last year, 2016, and it debuted at number 20 on the iTunes Metal charts. They have released music videos for their singles Suffering, Deceiver, and for the cover of Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. Now, if you don't want to take my word for it, and if you don't want to take the band's word for it about how awesome this album is, what about New Transcendence? They said Resurgence is a must-listen for 2016, without a doubt, especially for fans of metal and its subgenres. If you're looking for something that is emotionally powerful, but not too whiny, aggressive, but not hate-filled, and will stand the test of time, this is the album you've been searching for. For more information, visit www.silenceinsolitude.com. This episode is also brought to you by our boys in 627. Yes. So now we're going back to this nuclear holocaust thing where you had the Foo Fighters and you have Muse, and they're stuffed in an underground studio. And they apparently can't do anything with their own music, but they just have Weezer and Radiohead albums to session. I don't know why. I don't know why they do, but they do. And now if you can imagine all these weird occurrences and weird things that happened within this nuclear holocaust and the music that came out from this, well, you don't have to imagine anything. You just have to listen to 627. Delivering the attitude of the underdog and the punch of a champion, 627's chunky guitar riffs, charismatic vocals, and emotional solos are the most beautiful ass-whooping your ears will have ever taken. For more information, you could go up to dub7records.com. That's dub, D-U-B, the number 7 records.com. And you can also hit up their Facebook, facebook.com/627-627. So SIXTWOSEVEN, and then the numbers 627. Easy enough, right? Do it, like them, they're awesome. Now, we're also brought to you by the Golden Hearts Festival. It's presented by Crossheart Collective, and it takes place on Thursday, August 10th and Tuesday, August 15th. On August 10th, you have great New Jersey, New York City bands such as In Loving Memory, Monument of a Memory, Zoom. You have Champ, Approaching Troy, Varsity. And then on Tuesday, August 15th, you have Jinx, you have The Harkening, you have Trace Your Steps, Refinement, Ender, First Wave, a whole bunch of other great bands. So tickets are on sale now for $16 each date, and you get them from the band. Easy enough, right? Yeah, it is easy enough. And last but not least, Behind the Barricade is also sponsoring another festival happening in October. It's called Nowhere Fest, and it takes place from Friday through Sunday, October 20th to the 22nd, and you have killer bands such as Body Snatcher, Cock Punch, Vices, Motives, all on October 20th. The 21st has Comeback Kid, Burn, Cold as Life, Jesus Piece, Full Blown Chaos, Limit, Shots Fired. A whole day of just ass-kicking hardcore and metal, which is awesome. And then October 22nd, you have Unbroken Wings, you have Slapshot, you have Recon, Brick by Brick, Buried Dreams, Hangman, Downswing, and a whole lot more. So tickets are $25 in advance, $30 for the day of the show, and a 3-day pass is $60. So essentially, you're getting Friday for free if you buy Saturday and Sunday. Come on, can't get better than that, right? That's right. So tickets are available now, and everything is going to be happening at the Chance Complex, which is at 6 Cranwell Street, Poughkeepsie, New York, and we hope to see you there. Now today, we talk with Andy and Alex of the band Dangerkids. Caught up with them last night on their final tour date of their Galactic Empire run with the band Galactic Empire. And we talk about a lot of great things. And yeah, we talk about a lot of great things. Always love talking to these guys. I've known them since 2013. And it's pretty cool when they know us too. So it was pretty funny how Andy's like, yeah, man, you remember the one show you were at? I'm like, well, yeah, I was at the show. I remember that. So it's always a blast hanging out. You know, I'm proud to call these guys my friends, and just to see them really take off is something special. So without further ado, we have Andy, we have Alex of Dangerkids happening now. From out of the wasteland of generic podcasts and radio shows, one has emerged. It prides itself on having conversations with the most talented musicians from all over the world. If you like a boring question and answer interview, this isn't for you. If you want deep conversations about anything and everything, you've come to the right place. Your new favorite show starts now, and its name is Behind the Barricade.
So, last day of the tour, New York City.
Yeah.
How long has this tour been going on for? It's been, seems like a while.
It's been very good, I think, for us.
It's a little shorter than most tours we've done, though.
True,
it's like
but
3.5 weeks, and most of them are usually like exactly a month, so like 4.5 weeks. So.
No, it does feel very long though, just because we've had a lot of odd days.
Yeah, it's different though because it's been a lot of it's been all East Coast, which is the only tour we've ever done. It's been a section of the United States,
Really?
all around. Yeah. So the furthest west we went was like probably Dallas.
Yeah, Texas for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been all East Coast, but it's been short drives, which is nice.
That is always good.
Yeah.
It's like you get to like the Midwest and the West, you know, and you just see farmland. You go to sleep, wake up 8 hours later, farmland.
Same thing, yeah. Same view when you wake up. Yeah.
Oh, God almighty. So, I saw, I think, your live stream in where? Columbus, was it?
Yeah.
And Tyler mentioned something about Inside Out finally going to radio?
Yeah, so that was the plan. Actually,
no,
it's a different
no.
song. Well, it's a different song. We just found out a few days ago. So they just started playing it on Octane Friday.
Okay.
And there's like a vote going on their Twitter page.
That was Ghost in the Wall, right?
Yeah, Ghost in the Walls, yeah. So it's like their test drive weeks. They pit 3 bands against each other, and we're up against Siler and Palisades, which are both really good bands too.
Yeah.
Right now we're leading by a little bit, so we just got to keep it up for another 5 days. The Twitter votes and stuff.
And then what? Are you just in constant rotation?
So it happened with Kill Everything on our last tour.
Yeah.
That CD, that was like the title, or not the title track, but the like the debut single off the record, pretty much. And so it was on Octane. They did the test drive, and we won. And that one, because it's like a weekly vote every week for 7 days, right? And the first time we did it, we had the 3rd largest ever week for like test drive.
Oh wow.
Like we looked like a few months ago, there was a total of like 900 votes throughout the week, and right now this new test drive is at like 3,000.
3,600 something. So we're like
you quadrupled it.
We're on
pretty
schedule
much
to break the record.
Yeah, the record for the test drive week.
What is the record?
I think it was like 1 week, and it was like Data Member versus Pierce the Veil versus Bring Me the Horizon.
Something.
Yeah, then it was like 5,000 votes or some shit like that.
My God.
So
it's like a scene kid's nightmare right there.
Yeah, pretty much. Like how you choose.
It's exciting.
But yeah, it's
very awesome.
So yeah, Kill Everything won the first time, and they put you into like regular rotation, and if it does well, they keep you on. You know, it's very, I guess, call-in driven. I guess I don't know how that works anymore.
I don't know how that
they
works.
still take like call-in requests, but they do. We've been listening to Octane like all week on tour and stuff. And it's pretty cool. It's a nice breath of fresh air from like FM radio. It's just the same 10 songs every hour.
Well, now you just hear I Prevail over and over again.
I've only heard each of those bands in the last few days. I've only heard them once.
Wow.
Which is weird. I actually hear both of them more on the FM station back home in Cincinnati. But it's been a lot of. I think Corey Taylor owns Octane because it's like all Slipknot and Stone Sour.
Yeah.
And that fucking Theory of a Dead Man song. Oh my God.
Nothing More's doing really well on Octane.
Yeah, Nothing More's doing well. Yeah.
They have a song that's doing really well on Octane, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Majority of it.
Thrice,
Corey Taylor's one.
Yes, Stone Sour and Slipknot.
What is with Corey Taylor? Like, what doesn't this guy do?
I know he's like I feel like Dave Grohl was like the pinnacle of like cool rock and roll dude. That just like doesn't give a shit, fun guy. I think like Corey Taylor is like dethroning Dave Grohl slowly.
Yeah.
Because it's like, he does all these interviews for like AP and shit, you know? And
Yeah,
like,
it's like, what?
yeah.
For the record, though, our bass player Jake today said, like, this is the best metal band. Because it makes you. There's something about it that they've done. It's really cool. You know, I think their sound has lived on, and they've been able to do it and make a really, really neat career out of it. You know, so there's something to be said for them. And he's done it with 2 bands.
Yeah,
so,
for real.
You know, so I think that's really, really dope. They're one of my favorite bands, dude. I fucking love Slipknot, you know.
Absolutely.
Seeing them live is a whole.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
different
animal.
experience.
Yeah.
It'll make anyone a fan, I think.
No, but we got the privilege of being able to play with them on Rock and Ranch.
Yeah.
A few years back,
And like Jake doesn't even listen to music that heavy, and he watched them and he was like, they're one of my favorite bands.
Yeah,
now.
dude,
That's how good their live show is.
Yeah. Big fans, obviously.
I actually just saw Stone Sour last week with Korn.
Oh really?
Yeah.
A friend of mine is doing merch on that tour.
Oh, nice,
Friend
yeah.
of ours.
Yeah, I ended up. I think I did an interview with Dead.
Dead, yeah.
Who's also
yeah.
on Octane.
They're
Yeah.
cool,
They're
but yeah, they've been owning
yeah.
Octane.
They're great.
And Tyler, I think, is like friends with their singer, and they've been talking and stuff. He voted for us on this week's test drive, so we voted for him because they were on like a few months back, one of their songs on the test drive.
Yeah. But anyways, I actually brought my sister, who just listens to either like mainstream pop or like country.
Yeah.
I was like, "So you want to go to a metal concert?" She's like, "I got nothing else to do."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, look, I'll bring you backstage. We'll talk with the bands, you know, whatever."
Yeah.
She's like,
That's
"Yeah, whatever."
cool. Yeah.
So brought her backstage. You know, we did the interview, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then Stone Sour came on, and she was like in awe of Corey Taylor. I was like, "Of course, he's the
great,
last
man.
true rock star out there."
Really.
And then
really
Korn
is.
came on. She's like, "I feel sick." I'm like, "What do you mean you feel sick?" Apparently the bass was that loud that was like vibrating her inside. I'm like, that makes sense.
The first time I saw Korn was like back in like 2002 or 3 or something like that, and they were on tour with Stained and Mindless Self-Indulgence, and like no one knew who Stained was. It was right before Stained broke.
Oh shit.
And so yeah, like I saw them, and Tyler was at that concert too, but it was way before we knew each other. And at that show, they like broke the world record for like the loudest concert.
Really?
And, like, dude, it's just a wall of speakers. It was so fucking loud. It was cool.
Wow. I wonder who owns the record now.
I don't know, because that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's probably some fucking DJ I've never heard of, like some electronic festival.
Probably Skrillex of sorts.
Yeah.
Who was just here last night.
I heard
Yeah,
that.
that's what I heard. Yeah.
He probably is still in there. Who knows?
Maybe he like lives in the sewer system here or something.
That's one thing I never understand with EDM shows. Like, I'm sure he went on at like 2 or 2:30 last night.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
it's so fucking late.
You know, doors are at like 10. How are you
Yeah.
waiting 4 hours just to hear like
It's
nothing
a
but?
whole different culture. I think
Yeah.
people go to this just to party and have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, it's different than a rock show in the sense of like the interaction. The,
Oh,
you know,
yeah, it's
the
a
state
different.
The state of mind's different at 2 o'clock in the morning than it is at 10.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It takes a while for the ecstasy to kick in, probably.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm making a joke, but I feel like there's some truth to that.
I don't.
I see the wubs,
I
man.
don't know. I don't know about that. I've never been to their shows. So
I've been to a couple EDM shows, and it's kind of like Guar without the blood. Like they shoot a lot of shit at you, like a lot of confetti, a lot of water,
I saw
a lot of lights.
Glitch Mob once with Tyler in Cincinnati. And I guess that's probably the only
actually,
like,
I take that
EDM
back.
thing
I've
ever
seen. Oh my god.
That's pretty tight. Though. They brought shit ton of
No.
screens with them and stuff, like LED screens, just like
in
blow out the
In
lights.
2008, I saw Basslighter in Chicago, and that was amazing. Actually, it was really, really sick. I don't know. That's the only electro show I guess I've ever been to. But it was dope. I just remember that. I guess.
I think he played MSG his last time around here.
Oh really?
Yeah, so they're really.
He's
slaying it.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
My God. But the weird part is, like, you could fit in on like almost any tour, whether it's EDM or metal
I think
or
we have a little
even
bit
pop.
of something
Fuck
for
it.
everyone. So
And we have. I think that we've done a lot of diverse tours. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, like, traditionally, I think it's cool. This tour in particular, it's definitely like something that a band like ours necessarily wouldn't be on, but everybody comes to have a good time. You know?
yeah. And like Galactic Empire, because at first we were like, is this a tour that we should do? Because it's kind of strange.
Yeah.
Like, because but at the end of the day, they're basically a metal band that plays Star Wars songs, and it turned out to be really good for us because it's a lot of people that would have never seen us otherwise.
Yeah.
Like the other night, there was an older guy. He's probably like in his 50s, and he was like, I've never been to a concert in my life. He's like, but I've been a long time metalhead, and I love Star Wars. And he's like, I saw these guys are coming to town, so I figured I'll just go out and go to a show for once, And then he saw us, and obviously he'd never heard about us before. And he was like, holy fucking shit, you guys are like one of my favorite bands now. He's like, live show blew me away. So we've been playing in front of a lot of, it's a different crowd. It's a little bit older crowd, but also at the same time, there's like a lot of like parents bringing their kids to see like big Star Wars fans. So it's been, made a lot of little fans too, I guess. It's kind of crazy.
I think another cool thing about this tour is, on some of the bigger tours and stuff, you don't get your time to check sound and everything. And on this tour, particularly in tours like this, you get time to dial everything in. So I feel like progressively throughout, we've actually played like proficiently, and beautiful every night.
Yeah, I think this is the best we've ever performed as a band on tour ever.
Yeah, I agree. And everybody, I think it takes just that balance of just doing it every day and just putting everything you have into it. And I think everybody's done that this tour. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's great.
Not to mention you're playing something other than auditoriums.
Exactly.
The last time I saw you, it was at Radiant in Nutley, where it's
we've done
literally a church basement.
Yeah. So I mean, we've done big tours, and we've done small tours, and everything in between. And
it would be fun without that road, though.
Yeah.
I mean, because you think about it, like if you just kind of had the constant, what is there after that? So it's like the road is
Slipknot.
Exactly.
Basically,
Well,
playing only festivals.
Yeah.
On weekends.
But you never know either. So So, I mean, you don't know the backstory. They could have been playing forever too. So, but yeah,
That's true.
cool. It's cool.
Yeah. And we were talking before about Webster Hall finally closing up after
Crazy.
I don't even know how many years. Since like the 1800s, it's been open.
Yeah, I didn't know about that until like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Someone was like, "It's one of the last shows at Webster Hall," and I was like, "Oh, really?" Because tonight will be the first time we played this particular room. So after tonight, we will have played all 3 rooms before it closes down. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
And from what I've been told, I guess this is the last show they're ever doing in
the room we're in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's cool.
So you're gonna write your name on the wall, or
I don't
then the wall gets torn down. I don't know what they're doing. I heard they're renovating it, but I also heard it's gonna be something else. I don't know.
Apparently, it's sold to Bowery, which owns like Terminal 5 and owns
Right.
Bowery Ballroom.
I saw that.
Oh,
first,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, like, that hasn't been really renovated in over 100 years.
Well, and a lot of people were saying it was code violation and stuff like that. They needed to get to whatever. So got to do it. So I'm sure that it was probably the right decision. Ultimately, so.
It's also actually a New York City landmark.
Of course,
Yeah.
it's
Everyone's heard of that. Like I'd heard of it before I started touring. Like I've seen like
It was bucket list.
Yeah.
One of those venues. Neat.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at tonight. You have Alisana in the basement. You have you guys in the middle. You have Good Charlotte on top.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I want to try to sneak and see the Good Charlotte show.
I want to see Good Charlotte, and honestly, I would like to just pop downstairs and see what that's all about too.
Yeah.
I mean, those bands have been doing.
I saw Good Charlotte. They're one of those bands that they stopped making music for a while,
Yeah.
And I mean, you think about it, and they fucking ruled the radio for a while, dude. Like
Well,
they were
okay,
like
Hit after hit.
Yeah, I mean, and they were like across. They started out as like a pop punk band, but they were having songs on pop stations and shit, So I mean, they were huge, and then like they stopped playing and stopped touring, and then I saw them 2 years ago, I think, at Warped Tour, and it was like kind of like a comeback tour for them, and it was like I was like, damn, these guys are pretty fucking good live.
Dude,
so
I mean,
kind of forget about.
They're one of the like homage bands, for that genre.
Yeah.
I think, they really set a staple, and I think they've kept their music alive, and their music will probably live. It's just like their situations are really cool. That's exciting too. So hopefully we get to pop up there soon. So.
Yeah, and it's also a lot of people's gateway band too. Probably the generation after us listened to Good Charlotte and was like, oh my god, like listening to Lifestyles, listening to Anthem.
I bought the first 3 albums, dude. Love them.
Yeah. I bought the first 2. The first one I bought, like no one knew who they were.
Yeah,
Little Things.
Yeah, it's like Little Things Broke.
Dude, Screamer was the best song on that album, and they never played it.
I forgot about that song. I haven't listened to that record.
Oh man, yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah.
Cool stuff. Listen to it today.
Yeah. I think they only play Little Things from the first album.
Oh really? I mean, that would make sense. It's the biggest one with that album.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna go up there and try to catch that at some point. I mean, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Really dope.
See, now the easy part for you is you just show your pass, you go up there.
Pretty much gets us anywhere. If you just act like you belong, they usually don't question you.
You're like, what? I just want to go to the bathroom. What the fuck?
I've used the tour pass to get into like Warped Tour for free that I wasn't even on. I just have like an old tour pass, just flash it, and they don't know they're like, let's do this way, man. It's like,
he seems important.
Yeah, if you just act like, hey, I'm supposed to be here, I gotta, all right, come on in.
It's like, yeah, he's got tattoos.
Come on, pretty much. If you look the part and act like
that's the entire reason that we have tattoos.
Yes, sneaking into tours.
So we look like we're in a band.
Yes, I really need to get started. It's just nothing but white.
Time, dude. What are you gonna get, man?
First one's gonna be a Linkin Park piece.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that for a while. Some kind of Linkin Park piece.
Oh, that's cool.
There you go.
Unfortunately, we'll probably never get to see him again, but
Yeah. That's still kind of in disbelief over that.
and you actually met Chester.
Yeah. It's
I was lucky enough to meet him too. Great.
It seems like just from here, like I don't know the guy or anything. I didn't know him really well, but we did get to meet him once for an extended amount of time.
Yeah.
Great, like super nice guy. Me, Alex, and Tyler talked to him for probably like an hour. Yeah. And like what started out was just like, hey, just wanted to say hi. Like we look up to you guys are like huge influences, and it was cool because he came up. He's like, what band you in? We're like, we're in Dangerkids. He's like, you guys have awesome fans. He's like, I've been told like 5 times a day when you take you guys on tour, and I was like, cause you should, you know. But we talked to him. What thought was gonna be a few minutes. He's like, hold on, I gotta step away for a second. We're like, he's just trying to, we're just bothering him. And then he came back like 30 seconds later. He said, hey, do you guys want to meet my kids? And we're like, yeah, sure. Like, so he brought his family over. We met them. Super, super, super nice guy and super happy guy. And so it makes you realize people go through these struggles that you will never know about.
That's the problem.
It's pretty surreal to have met him and then hear about that.
That was I don't like those days. You know what I mean? Because you think about it and you're like, damn, man.
Yeah.
Because we all thought it was like.
I was like, it's a hoax. It's a hoax, dude.
The sick part is I saw it on TMZ and I was like, it's real.
Exactly.
Yeah,
TMZ
has credibility now.
Unfortunately, at this day and age, that's when you know.
Yeah.
Like if they get it, that's right. Probably 99.9%, dude. You know.
Yeah. Who the fuck saw that coming?
Really. No one did, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, but like crazy but I look at it from a positive in the sense that not that it's a positive thing, but I think a lot of people were saying maybe Dangerkids should do a cover, and I'm in the mentality just let him be.
No one does Linkin Park better than Linkin Park.
Exactly, and I don't want to attempt to do that because we don't have any. I don't think
it feels like you're cashing in on
I just want to stay as far away from that as possible.
That's not what I want to do.
I mean, I've seen a lot of bands do Linkin Park covers lately, and it's very well received. And I'm sure if we did one, it would be well received, and no one would think we were doing that. But just on the off chance, it's like
I just want him to be, just let him be. It is what it is. We got our time, the little time that we got to spend with him. That's enough. And I got enough in that situation, I think, too. And I hope he's in a good place. And that's all I wanted to talk about that. To be honest.
Absolutely. Without getting worked up.
It's sad.
It is. But on to a more positive thing.
Absolutely. So my apologies, but
no, I brought it up. It's like, what the hell are you apologizing to me for? It's all my fault.
This is bad.
So, anyways, new album's been out since January, right?
January 27th. Yeah.
Wow. So,
7, 8 months.
You're on the radio now on Sirius XM.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Sure, on a bunch of rock stations all over the country.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, New York City doesn't have a rock station anymore.
It's weird. A lot of cities don't. Like, there are very few active rock stations left. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's, I see it a lot, and because you travel so much, and just like, dude, the markets aren't what they even were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It changes very, 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 very intensively quickly. It's strange, and it's like people need to keep coming to shows to keep this going, and it's like I feel like that's like not as much as it used to be, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is, and hopefully people start diversing in that again, because it's the best culture there is, dude. At one point it changed the world.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you see that happening today? No.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate because we're such a power player, in time. Think about life without it, That would be insanity.
Yeah.
So it's like
because it's an outlet for a lot of people.
Exactly.
Whether you play it, listen to it, mosh on a show, it doesn't matter.
Exactly, and I think people. I hope that
it'll come back around. Everything's cyclical.
You're right. We actually had this conversation earlier.
Even like active rock kind of stuff, like it disappeared when like Mumford & Sons came around. You know what I mean? And the radio stopped playing and all the radio stations switched over to like alternative, and then
that became pop radio too, which is
crazy.
It's all folk and stuff.
But I see like there's still a good active rock station left in Ohio and Cincinnati, 96 Rock, and they play our stuff a few times. But they still play a lot of modern rock bands, which you don't find much on the radio anymore.
More Slipknot and Stone Sour.
Yes.
And I love 103.9, dude. Come on, dude.
Yeah, well, they're more alternative now.
True, but like phenomenal. And I all the stations are dope, man. I think they've kept rock alive in at least our region, which is dope,
Yeah. So, do you think rock is dying? As cheesy as the question is.
No, I don't think so. Again, I think it's just cyclical. Like, I mean, if you look at fashion, it's like 90s are coming back real hard right now. Yeah, dude, 90s fashion.
Oh shit, I gotta get my jean shorts 100%. I gotta get my jorts.
100%, dude. Yeah, they're like, we went in Forever 21 earlier, and it's just like a dude,
it's neon. Everything's neon.
Tie-dye.
Yeah. Dude, the scene was neon for how many fucking years?
Well, it's like when I was in high school, it was like the 80s. You know what I mean? Like the 80s coming back. Like bands like...
I thought you were in high school in the 80s. I was like, no, you're not that older than me.
50 and 55. Yes.
No, but like, you know what I mean?
You actually look great for your ages. Wow.
A decade later, now the 90s are back in fashion. A decade from now, it'll be like early 2000s shit coming back, I think.
Yeah, it's all cycles, but it's also transitioning with the times. So. But I think everything has its moment of glory,
Yeah, but I mean, there's at the same time, radio isn't everything, and radio isn't what it once was, but it has no correlation to like how big rock bands are. I mean, you look at Dare to Remember, they've had very little radio success. It seems like. I mean, they've had some songs, do well, but they're one of the biggest bands around, and you never hear them on the radio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like it kind of doesn't fucking matter. Like, if you're a good band, you're a good band, and people are gonna come see your shows. And we've been seeing, a steady increase in like people returning fans that have, never saw us in New York 6 months ago the first time. They had to come back and see us again. So it's like every tour we do, we're gaining fans. So I feel like whatever we're doing it right.
Yeah.
So
And also your record label is really pushing you. It's an imprint of Warner, right?
Yeah, technically. We kind of like self-released it because it's like a label that has one release, which is Dangerkids Blacklist. You know what I mean? So. But yeah, it's been a cool experience. We had a lot of attention, which is part of what took so long with putting the second record out. Is you get attention from a label. You're like, holy shit, label X, contacted us and they're fucking amazing. They have a long history. So like, hey, we're gonna give you guys the sickest deal, right? It's like cool. And then it's like our lawyers are working on it right now. It's like, okay, cool. 3 months later, where's that? Hey, our lawyers are hammering out like one little detail. You get it soon. It's like, okay, like, well, I'd really like to see this because we have other opportunities right now. And then you get the deal, the offer, and it's like, what the fuck is this? This is shit. I don't want to be locked into a label for 7 albums, like, for the rest of my life. It's like, no. So it's like you spend months going after these fucking, like, you want to sign this label because the name recognition, like, I listen to bands this label.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
And then you get the offer, and it's total shit. And then it's like, so shit. And then you get, another label comes along, hey, we're going to give you guys a sicker deal. Yeah. And then, blah, 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 blah. But this time we were way more in control of it. So we got to control what the singles were. There was no one telling us what the singles were. We still control all of our artwork, all of our art direction, all of our online content, everything like that. So it's still 100% in our hands. Yeah. But we have, people to help out where needed. Like we have a radio team that's helping push this song out to radio stations and stuff, which is something we never had before. We had no radio singles at all on the first record. Now we've been on the radio twice now, and with 2 different songs. So. I think I'm glad we did Ghost in the Wall second. That's what I was getting to earlier. It was going to be Inside Out, right? And then we had feedback from some of the radio stations that are going to be playing it, like, hey, we like that song. It's a good radio song, but we feel like Ghost in the Walls is a little more, perform a little better. And I can see where they're coming from because some of the stations probably don't like a lot of rapping. You know what I mean? Right. And so it's kind of risky for them to play something like that, whereas Ghost in the Walls has probably the best rap we've ever written. And it's like, in the bridge, it almost feels like a feature. Almost, you know what I mean? But it's a very different song. Kill Everything is a heavy rock song.
Straight to the point,
Yeah. Ghost in the Walls is a more melodic, kind of eerie, vibey rock song. So it's like a different side of us, I think. So
I would agree.
Hopefully that song will perform well and, get some more fans that, Kill Everything didn't get or something, So.
Yeah. I honestly think Inside Out is your meal ticket, man.
I think that's the one. I think it is too, still, but
to be fair, I always thought we always thought that was one of the ones. But if Ghost in the Walls does really well on radio, that's not unrealistic either. No.
Yeah, because like
it's a stepping stone.
Ghost in the Walls is a great second pick. To me, I think it'd be my first pick for a radio single, just because. a lot of family and friends of mine that don't listen to this kind of music listen to that. I'm like, cool rock band you got there, you know, pretty cool. But they're like, that Ghost in the Wall song is I really like that song. And it's like, so even non-rock people like hear that song and it's like, hey, that song is really good. So maybe there's something to that, you know, so.
Maybe.
If the non-fans really gravitate towards that song, I mean, maybe it'll perform well. So translate.
We'll have to see.
Yeah. So we'll see.
But that's the exciting part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. You never know. I mean, I remember watching old Linkin Park videos, and they were touring in a van, performing, you know, fucking Hunger Theory, and then a month later, they're in a fucking tour bus playing festivals, and it's like, happens so quick, you know? Yeah. So, I mean...
And that still happens today, too.
Yeah, it still does happen today, so...
I think I Prevail is the perfect example of that.
Yeah, man, we did their first headline tour, and that...
In that church basement.
Yeah. And it was a month and a half long, and that tour progressively got bigger as the tour went on, which is rare. You know what I mean?
Every day.
Yes, every day the shows got bigger and bigger. And I mean, look at them now; they're fucking probably the biggest band on Warped Tour this year, maybe.
Yeah.
Like
it's cool.
It's been crazy.
It's very, very
I still talk to those guys. I still talk to Eric and stuff, and yeah, it's good. They're good dudes. We had a lot of fun touring with them, so it's good to see a band like that do so well.
And the crazy part is, a lot of people wrote them off because they're the cover bands.
Yeah. But I mean,
I think they've proceeded past that.
Yeah, they did.
I think
they followed it up with
because that was the initial thought process behind everybody was like, oh, the song, but no, they had like follow up, and everybody respects them now for everything, so that's good.
And their backstory is great. Like, they were a band for I think 2 years before they even announced that they were a band. They got like money together. They did music video after music video, just pumped out the album.
That's kind of what we did too. We kind of started this band in secret, and like we started the band in probably like 2011. and didn't actually record anything till like 2012 or something. You know? But Tyler wrote a couple songs, and he's like, "Hey, I want you to be in this new band I got." And I just quit my old band for a couple of years. Like, all right, I'd like to get back into music. You know?
I remember the old Glory songs.
The band I started the same week as Dangerkids started. We put out one single, and then Dangerkids like took off. So it's like, well,
later guys.
We're gonna go with this,
Now, what is that other band doing these days?
Nothing. But it was I mean, they didn't. We put out one song. We never really planned on doing anything. Oh, okay. It was just like basically like guys in my old band. I moved away for a couple of years, and we just wanted to start making music again. We never planned on doing anything at all. We played like one show.
Dangerkids as a whole was never planned to be sitting in New York City right now having this interview.
Yeah, we were never going to play live shows at all. We were just going to put out music, and that was it. And then it was weird because 8 years in the band before this playing guitar, never got any sort of break. And then I'm not kidding. Once we released a Dangerkids song, within days we were getting label offers and stuff, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, I've tried for 8 years, and before this I would kill to have this phone number.
That's the problem. You tried.
Now. Tried, and then we started this band for fun. I think it was just the right reason. Started this band for fun, and now we're on like our 11th tour or something like that. So it's pretty crazy.
See, just like being famous, you can't try to be famous. You just become famous.
Pretty much.
I think those boundaries are different to everybody, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because you always think, you go on tour and you do all this stuff, and you think you're gonna you always stay the same. I think if you know what you have and what you believe in, and doing it for music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all do this for music.
We've done it so long unsuccessfully that the little bit of success we have right now, it's like we don't take it for granted at all. It's like we're in New York City and we're loving it. You know what I mean? Like, this is awesome. There's nothing else I'd rather be doing. So and we're a little older, so we don't party and forget about it and squander everything. We're really still.
You mean you're not that band?
No, not to say that we used to be.
Our old bands, maybe. No, I think we're more like focused now than we ever have been. So
it's very solid.
Yeah.
Nice.
Excited.
Yeah. Actually, I have one fan question, and I should have had this pulled up. Yes. But anyway, so it's the last day of the tour. What do you got going on in the fall?
Probably heading back on tour again. Also, we're gonna start. We've already started writing album 3, but we're gonna try to get a few songs done in October. I'm gonna fly out, spend a couple weeks with Tyler. And Alex is also try to.
You're out in LA, right?
Sorry,
you're out in California.
Back and forth.
Okay.
It's been it's transitional. I like my polars. But I think I'm really excited to write. I think everybody is, and be progressive, and just really build on what we've, whatever we've created. But I think that's the beautiful part of it. because you get to build those blocks and it can be everlasting if you choose. So that's what I'm most excited about, I think, moving forward. I think, and then, just touring and stuff like that. But yeah, it's exciting.
You're living the dream, and you're doing it naturally too. You don't have like 5 different people or 5 different teams on your ass going, okay, you need to sound more like this. Now go in there. I want this guitar. So not what you're doing. Fuck what you're doing.
And like our managers are great, and that's always been the thing. And they're like, we're not gonna put you in any sort of situation where you don't have complete control over it.
Yeah.
And because whatever we've done, it's worked for us. They're like, we don't want to interfere with that. You know what I mean? So, there's always people to help, and we always take helpful suggestions and constructive criticism and stuff like that. But yeah, ultimately we're still in control of everything we do, which is, you hear some horror stories from the other side of things. So, yeah.
Exactly. All right, so we actually have, looks like 2 questions.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with that. So from a Katie Minnie, Minney.
Okay.
All right. Question. Would they do a local style tour and have local bands jump on all of these shows, since they're a Dayton band? I can't fucking read. Since they're a Dayton band and all.
Kind of. We've already kind of done that, actually. This tour, we're not headlining, but there are local acts every night. And this tour isn't like huge by any means, but it's been a good sized crowds every night, like filling the rooms.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and we did a headlining tour last year, and it was just us and Avion Row was direct support for us, and we had 2 or 3 local bands every night on that also. So we've kind of already done it, and I'm sure we will do it more. So
I think the cool part about tours like this is like everybody gets their moment of the night too. You know what I mean? Which is the locals get their moment, and everybody gets that moment. So it's like it's not so brash in this things, and I think that's the coolest part about that.
Yeah.
That's neat.
This tour has been very eclectic as far as like the local bands and stuff, because it's a different tour. You have like us, which are kind of like whatever people call it, metal. I don't know. I hate labels. But we're a heavy rock band, and Galactic Empire is a heavy rock band with a Star Wars theme. So it's like the locals. We've had like all from pop punk to like progressive to like death metal. They've all been really cool.
Yeah. Any random locals stick out to you off the top of your head?
What was that guy the other night? Just because it was so different. It was in Buffalo. His name was like it's just one guy, and it's called like Danimal Cannon.
Sure.
Danimal Cannon, yeah. I was like, what is this band name? That's great. But it's one dude, and he wore a Star Trek to a Star Wars show, and he plays, it's a one-man band, and he plays guitar, and he's crazy at guitar, and he has like 2 like hacked Game Boys that play like the backing tracks and shit. It's fucking weird, but it was like super cool. And like I was actually like worn out that show, and I was trying to sleep backstage, and I was like listening to it, I was like, this is fucking dope. Like, what is this? And I went out and like woke up, went out and watched a few songs, but yeah, there's been a few others. I can't remember the names, unfortunately, but yeah, there's been some good local talent we've seen on this tour, which is cool.
Nice. And to think that they're going to put on their Facebook about us. It's like we shared the stage with Dangerkids.
Yeah, that's still crazy to me, man. Like we toured with like our 3rd or 4th tour. We toured with Silverstein, and that's like one of the bands I grew up listening to. And we were on tour, and every night Shane would be like, it was a different song every night. He's like, I'm going to dedicate this song to our new friends, Dangerkids. Love those guys.
Amazing.
And it's like, what? Like, you dedicate a song to us that I like was like a big formative song for me. You know, I don't know. It's just cool. So we get to share a stage with like some of these bands that we looked up to, and now there are bands looking up to us that are stoked to share the stage, which is still so weird to me, but it's cool, man. I'm taking it all in. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a very cool thing.
Hell yeah. All right, and we have one from Kevin Pereira, who also works for us.
Okay.
I feel it'd be a fair assessment to say that they were heavily influenced by Hybrid Theory Linkin Park. No shit. Do they intend to develop on that style of rap rock / new metal, or are they going to break and do something new stylistically? Well, I think you basically answered that question already. I mean, you're not into one genre. Like, you're not a new metal band.
I think developmentally, and I'm very proud of the growth and progression of Collapse to Blacklist, and I think Blacklist to Record 3 will be, creating more of an identity of what Dangerkids is actually about.
And what I've always said in the past, like, with Collapse, we got signed before the album was done, and it was kind of like a rush to get it done. So every song we made was on the album, and then with Blacklist, we probably wrote a good, not full songs, I could say a good 20 to 30 like ideas.
Samples,
and so we had a lot of time. We had as much time as we needed to work on it. So we got to actually pick and choose. So we had to cut songs, which we never did in the past.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've already been working on stuff since album 2 dropped, you know. So we're going to try to, we never like try to push boundaries or be different, but I think we all just grow as musicians, and it's natural for any band to kind of branch out and just build on what they've done. And I think Blacklist is not far removed from Collapse at all. It still sounds like Dangerkids, and I think album 3 will still sound like Dangerkids. Nothing too far removed. But
Not to go like a reggae style.
No, nothing drastic.
I was intending on all reggae.
All reggae.
Really should.
Dude, you figured out the secret, dude. What are you doing, man?
Sorry. I'll edit that out.
Yeah, but I think I'm really excited to see what we've.
I you know, like I haven't done any writing since Blacklist, and that's my favorite thing that we've all worked on. You know, Andy and Tyler and I spent, and the whole band spent forever. Like we spent a long portion of time, 10 months, you know, front to back, writing it, you know, intensively, just to make sure it was just right. So I think progressively moving, I think we're gonna get something really cool. It's exciting. That's beautiful, you know. Love that shit.
Progressing forward.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Was there anything that you cut from Blacklist that you were kind of bummed about having to choose between one or the other that you
there's
might
a few ideas.
that you might bring back maybe? For
So we never delete an idea that we have, you know. So there was one song that we were working on that was going to be the opening song for this album. Like we were like, oh, that's going to be track 1. The intro is just like fire, and then we never fleshed it out and made it.
Wow.
And so I still really want to reuse that idea for album 3 because I think it's still it could be tweaked a little bit, but I think it's still like, so there are a few ideas like that to answer your question, I guess. So we never delete any ideas we have. So I'm sure there will be some stuff that maybe just wasn't the right time to put on Blacklist that we can tweak and redo, or, you know, for lack of a better word, for album 3. So I'm just excited because at the end of the day, you're making music that didn't exist before that.
100%.
You know, so it's like, it's cool. We've released these songs. They've had, some of them have like a huge impact on fans' lives and stuff. And it's like, you never write with that intention or think that's even going to happen. That's like so far removed out of your mind. You're just trying to write a good song, and then these people can attach themselves to it, or, you know, they relate to it in some way that they, like, no one else, no one else feels this way. And then they hear a song, it's like, wow, this explains exactly what I'm going through. Like, I'm not alone, you know.
Gotcha.
But you can't try to write like that.
No,
we would never do it otherwise.
Also,
but we're just writing from real experiences, and other people have those same experiences.
You know, to add, I think, you know, just because everybody does a lot, and I think, and whatnot, but, you know, when I get to play every night, that's like my, like, 40 minutes of freedom, or whatever that means, you know?
It's almost like meditating.
Yeah, it's
You're basically outside of your body.
It's a beautiful thing, and so it's reciprocal. You know, I think that's like, you know, how people understand it, you know, is completely subjective and individual. You know, and I think on the other end of it, it's the same way with the performer. You know, it's very cool because I was always that person. You know what I mean? And on the other side, and now it's like, and I don't know. It's a neat process, I think. So,
Awesome.
Just to add.
Yeah. All right, I'm out of shit to talk about.
All right.
Yeah. Anything to promote? Obviously, the new album's out now.
New album's out. New album's out now. Also, actually, we just did a song for the new Sonic the Hedgehog game.
Oh yeah, what the hell was that about?
Sonic Forces comes out holiday this year. We got contacted through Facebook of all things. I got a Facebook message one day from two of the guys who work at Sega, and they're like, "Hey, would you guys want to do a video game song?" And it's like, we're all huge gamers. We'd love to. Like, what is it? He's like, well, I can't tell you much until, you know, we get some sort of And it was like, he's like, I can't tell you. It's a video game that we're working on currently. And I was like, so all right. So I wonder what it is. So I'm like going to their profiles. Like, these guys both work at Sega. It says Sonic Team specifically. It's like, are we doing a Sonic game? So we thought maybe we were doing a song for like because there's like mobile Sonic games now and stuff too. It's like, maybe it's a song like that. And they're like, once we like sign on, like, okay, actually it's the theme song for the new villain. So it's like a really big deal. Wow. And it's like, oh shit. So I was pumped to do a song for a villain because we're a heavier band, and Sonic's always been very rock and roll and stuff, which is cool. But yeah, the villain and the song has been really, really well received online so far. Yeah. The YouTube channel, it's like the third highest YouTube video that Sega has done or put out, or Sonic related maybe. But
They're
yeah,
about to say ever. I was like, really? Wow, look at you.
yeah, so it's just like, it's one of their biggest.
Despacito, Miley Cyrus, Dangerkids.
Yeah, right.
Exciting.
But yeah, it's one of the biggest things they've done. I think they took a chance, working with an actual band instead of just doing it all in house, because they're all completely capable. They're crazy musicians. But yeah, they took a chance and offered us to be a part of it, and never in a million years did I think I wrote a song for a video game, So
cool.
that's one of those things. Like maybe we're doing a small tour or something, and you get kind of bummed. It's like, I hope everything's growing, and then you get a Facebook message like that, and it leads to something completely different. You're like, you know what, this is pretty cool. So it's those moments like that that like keep us going.
Nice.
So who knows what album 3 has in store? So
That's exciting.
yeah.
There we go. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hell yeah.
You destroy me from the inside out, but it only makes me love you more. I guess I've nothing left to talk about.
Many times have I had it and lost it. They bring up the past, I'm changing the topic, and everybody's telling me to give up and drop it. Echoing constant, but failure's not an option. Don't be obnoxious, I'm losing my conscience. I'd rather be the nail than the one in the coffin. The one you've forgotten's got nothing else left to hide. Cause I never told the truth, but now it's coming to light. It's like, you destroy me from the inside out, but it only makes me love you more. I guess there's nothing left to talk about, and I just don't care anymore. If that's the way it has to go, then break your teeth when you take a bite of me. Can we get back to the basics? The days don't seem so faded. Smile on my face every day because I faked it, and I can't take the face in the mirror, so let's face it. We're sleeping years cause fear makes you complacent, so I just pile it out, everything I'm about. So busy walking on your tightrope, I figured it out. So here we go, here I am. It's not for me or for them, cause we forgive and forget, and then we do it again. You destroy me from the inside out, but it only makes me love you more. I guess there's nothing left to talk about, and I just don't care anymore. So find another way to break me down, and make it hurt like it did before. If that's the way it has to go, then break your teeth when you take a bite of me. You destroy me from the inside out, but it only makes me love you more. I guess there's something left to talk